sitting here with Rick and Zach Rowe, Rick Lisak and Zach Rowe. Just heard a little bit of My Ohio Home. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, I've been living around Cincinnati since the 70s, and used to live outside of this little town out on Route 50 called Monterey, and kind of got inspired. Wrote part of the song pretty early, and then the Iraq War started, and I finished it. It's a song sort of dedicated to those soldiers that were there.
So you have the verses changed? You've carried it around for
I carried
years.
it around a long time, and that's what happens with a lot of songs. You know, you just have to wait and let them have their own moment.
He has a library of songs that have started back in, some of them started back in the 70s, maybe even older, and that's where I come in. And he has all these ideas, and My Ohio Home is an example that it started off as a song that has a couple decades behind it, and then as we've worked on them together, they do change a little bit.
So if I need to call the finisher, I call
He's
Zach.
the man. Yeah. And I've afflicted Zach with quite a few tunes. So very nicely tells me to put him back into the box, but there's a few that
you guys have been writing together for I've known for a while. You guys have been. Do you find yourself doing things that you think you got from Rick sometimes, or?
I think so. It's all been something very new for me, just because Rick is definitely the writer. I've always considered myself more of a player, but recently, since I've been more influenced by the folk Americana thing, like a lot of people are. So Dave Rollins, Gillian Welch, that style of music, that when Rick pitches songs, I now look for that potential in the songs he pitches to us. And so I think that's definitely changed it, because now, because I have that ability to play in that style, I can actually contribute to his songwriting. Oh, that's cool. And so it's more collaborative, probably I would say within the past year.
Yeah.
Do you find that if you bring an idea to him, and if he's kind of into it, that you kind of...
Yeah, it gets me juiced up, man.
Yeah, you want to finish
I'm into
the
it,
song.
yeah. And it's, here's something we've done recently that we've written. It's called If Wishes Were Horses. One, two, 3, 4. Never think you're gonna get caught till they're putting on the cuffs in the parking lot. Now I'm sleeping on a cold steel bed. Oh dear Lord, I'm better off dead. Playing music in a bluegrass band, dreams die slowly inside a man. Pay my dues, what can I say? Hand to mouth and day to day. If wishes were horses, I'd ride away. If wishes were horses, I'd ride away. Selling bags, $10 a pop, keeping food on the table, my ass out of hop. Trying to get ahead, but I reach too far. Now I'm staring out of these cold black bars. Oh, pretty darling, don't give up on me. Don't take the kids back to Tennessee. We've seen hard times, we cried a lot. Turn your back, you're all I've got. Ashes were horses, I'd ride away. If wishes were horses, I'd ride away.
So what about that song? Tell me about that one.
Wow, there's a phrase that I've been carrying around a long time, if wishes were horses, and I thought, wow, what a great song, and I thought, it's hard to sometimes when you're young and you're trying to keep things together and you got a little family and you can't give up your dream of playing music, and so I kind of became that person for a while, and sort of thought, well, let's write a song about that.
You mentioned before that you're kind of into the Americana thing. What kind of stuff did you do before that? What'd you grow up?
We have very different backgrounds. I was a metalhead. I was the guy that wore combat boots to high school. And I think just as time progresses and you get older, you have more experiences. I crave social music, and I think that's where folk music comes in, because you have that more of a social aspect of the common man and whatnot. And so I think when we kind of have developed our songwriting the past 3 years, we do focus on the Americana. This is, I think, people find it very satisfying now. And so when we're trying to keep ourselves happy and write songs we like, but we're also trying to keep an audience happy as well. And so I think we've kind of found a happy medium that we're writing songs we have fun with and people enjoy them at the same time. It's been quite rewarding.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I've got little pieces of songs and around, you know, and Zach will take them and shape them up into things that I think they're just fun to sing, and you know, it's when I started playing folk music, first kind of music I started playing was folk music. It was Pete Seeger, it was Peter, Paul, Mary, and then kind of segued into Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, you know. So it's kind of interesting that I've kind of come full circle and coming back and playing music that's a bit more folksy. And a lot of it's kind of gospel, you know. Kind of give you an example of one of those tunes that, you know, this is something I started writing a while ago too. Out on a farm on a Thanksgiving night.
There you go.
It's called Days of Heaven. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Winter stayed beyond his welcome. Spring was here, wet with dew. Our mules, they were harnessed, seed was bought, and a plow was due. Oh, our days were long and weary, turning the earth beneath our feet. The seeds that lay before us, they're all made of corn and wheat. Days of heaven, we are sharing in the hill and the now. Warm the heart, fill the promise with whatever will allow. I am young, but I am willing to bear the yoke upon my back. For my love and the one she carries, food and shelter they will not lack. Let's give thanks for this bounty on our table here and now. And the springtime that's coming will feel the earth turn beneath the cloud. Days of heaven, we are sharing in the here and the now. Warm the heart, feel the promise with whatever will allow. Warm the heart, feel the promise with whatever will allow.
That's more of the gospel direction. I think we're just wanting to have fun too. I mean, a lot of
You can
the
have fun in church.
most definitely, and you can. And I guess I'm influenced by Rick a lot just because of the way he lives. He has a very satisfactory mode of living.
Yes.
And when he sings these gospel songs, like he really knows what it means to be at peace, and that's something very...
Do you find, this is off the grid here, do you find that when Rick plays you a new song and you listen to the words, they always strike me as very believable because he has some miles, he has some life in him. He, as you said, they may hang around and linger for a decade sometimes or whatever.
Yeah. Well, experience is the best teacher, and I think with Rick, obviously there's an age difference, and he has a lot more experience than I do. I think when you combine experience with perspective, we get something that we most definitely enjoy. And
I just think it takes a mutual respect. You know, I really appreciate what Zach brings to the party, man. He's a really bright person, got a lot of energy, and
we can't talk about politics, though.
No, we can't talk about politics. That's all right. You know, we're good friends, and you know, I feel very fortunate to be playing music with him. And we look forward to writing a lot more songs together and playing and singing. So it's a good thing.
Down 50 into the country, you'll find old Monterey, my Ohio home, my Ohio home. I can feel my nose itching from that new motor